In the military, they taught us that just because you get shot doesn't mean you're dead. And I think the same applies for the carnivore diet or anything else that you're trying to do and be disciplined with. If you slip up one time, it doesn't mean that that's the end and you're a failure. And guess what? I slip up on things all the time. And actually, I've been not being so strict on the carnivore diet, and I've found that to be a detriment to me. I haven't been seeing any progress. I've been sitting still, kind of like a maintenance thing, but I have not reached my goals. And so I'm getting back up on the train, and I want to share a little bit with you about this military story about discipline and follow through and not dying. So early on in my career, when we would do our combat training, we wore these vests that had like laser tag kind of things built into it. And when you got shot with the laser, immediately you died. It didn't matter where you got shot at. It didn't register all that. So it was just you received the laser tag, you're dead, no matter what. Well, what they noticed was that in real life battles, when you would go through a building to clear it out and find the bad guy or whatever it was, when a person actually got shot, didn't matter if it was in their hand, their leg, their foot, whatever it was, they just fell to the ground. They were dead. Well, they fought in real life like they actually trained. When they heard the sound, when they realized they were shot, they died. Now, whoever it was, I don't know whether it was the military, the government, whoever it was, they decided this is not how we want our soldiers to be acting. And so they did some studies and they tried to figure out how they could correct it. What they did is they went back to the very beginning. They thought training must be the issue. And they were right. The new training that came about over the years also had a change in equipment. We had this new kind of round called a sim round or simunitions. What it was is just taking a regular bullet and making it into some sort of like a paintball bullet, but it was the same kind of cartridge and bullet that we used in our regular weapons, except for now it just put like a splatter of soap on you that had a color. And so when we would go into our mountain villages, which is kind of like a fake city, and we'd go through the building and we'd have all this op 4 or an opposition force that would shoot at you. When you got shot, the new instruction was even if you get shot in the head, you didn't die. You don't die unless you're told you died. And so all people knew to do at the time was to fall. And so it was this weird concept of like not dying, even when you get shot right in the chest or right in the head, don't die. This new form of training started showing its results in the field, like actual people getting shot in vital organ places and places that you would expect for people to die fairly quickly. But they were still able to put in, and they actually have real analysis of like how much more time people were able to stay in the fight after getting shot. And what ended up happening is people that ended up getting like flesh wound type of shots. I mean, they got shot. I didn't get shot. They got shot. But those people that ended up getting shot, something like in the arm or in the leg, or maybe a sucking chest wound, which is a way more extreme wound than getting shot in the hand or the arm, but they were still able to stay in the fight for longer than what they did in the past. So this new form of training was great. And the way that this relates to whatever you're doing, you're trying to be disciplined in, I know for me, I've experienced this thing where I'm on track. I got 15 days in and then I oversleep, or I got this craving that was too hard for me to fight. And I gave in and I get down on myself and I'm like, you failed. And you know what? You're done. You're not going to be able to keep this diet ever. You failed this one time and it's proof that you can't do it. And that's not true. Real discipline does not come from just being perfect all the time. There's another form of discipline in our minds. That when we don't follow through with something, like we have a slip up or something, we have to have control over our thoughts. The thoughts that we have are important. And if the thought you're having is, I mess up once, now I'll never be able to do it right, or it's so much that I'll never be able to, and you get down on yourself like that, that's the thought process that you have to control. You have to have more power than that thought process. When you have this conflict and you get wounded from this one day or this one meal that you messed up, the fight's not over. The battle isn't over. The war is definitely not over. Your mind has to say, all right, I see what I did. I see what I did. I see what's going wrong. I see what I need to adjust, how I can do this better. Okay, let's try again. And you don't have to start back over from day one. You don't even have to keep a count. I mean, it's good to like see that you're actually keeping count and you know, oh, I'm 364 days into the carnivore diet. I mean, I went a long time without breaking the carnivore diet, but then I did. Once I broke it, I was like, well, do I start over from one? Am I starting over from one now? All that time that I was doing good, is it all just worth nothing now? No, I don't think so. Or at least I would tell myself that because I don't want to say it's worth nothing, but I got results from it. I've adjusted. I've played around with different parts of the diet, and I'm nowhere perfect on my diet. I'm not saying you should follow my diet, but there's all kinds of different things that I've been trying to improve about my life. And the carnivore diet is probably not the only thing you're trying to improve about your life. There's probably other things too. Waking up at a certain time so you can get more things done, productivity, exercise, smoking, bad habits. The list goes on of all the different things that you could be trying to improve about your life. I know the list for me goes on and on and on. The point is, I just want to share this little nugget of training that came from me, but has hit me in multiple ways. And I know a lot of people don't get to go through that same training because they just didn't have that career opportunity like I did. And so I'm sharing it here with you. Hopefully the concept resonates. I'd love to hear other things or how it made you feel in the comments. And really, I know I'd love for people to subscribe to the channel, but there's other things that I can offer. In the description, there's going to be some links to signing up for notifications or emails or even some guides. So check those links out in the description. And if you like this video, check out this other video right here where I talk even more about similar topics. And if you don't like that one, YouTube will mention over here a video that I just recently put out. Check those out. Subscribe to the channel. I will see and talk with you soon. Bye.